Thank you for joining us on another episode of This Week in Plymouth on the Road. With us today on this beautiful day is Recreation Director Ann Slesser. Hi, Ann.
Hey, Casey.
So we're out here at Forges Field, and we're with the brand new tiny mobile robot, which I got to kind of see do its thing. What is this guy?
So our tiny mobile robot is a field painter, and he's more than fields. He can make parking lot lines, logos, whatever you name, whatever you think, but he paints our fields for us. So you can pre-program fields, and he comes out here GPS enabled, and he does his thing.
That's awesome. So, okay, GPS enabled. So how does he work? So I know before we used to have Sam in your department come, and he would manually paint this entire field. It would take hours. So what is the process like now? And then how long does it actually take for the whole paint to come about?
Yeah, sure. So Sam used to come out and he would put stakes into the ground for like flag football fields with a string, and it would take 3 to 4 hours just to set up a field. Now a full like 11v11 soccer field only takes like 23 minutes to paint.
Wow. So
not hours, 23 minutes.
You're saving a lot of time, and I'm sure that ends up being a lot of money savings. So is there some cost savings with this guy too?
Yeah, so the amount of paint that the tiny mobile robot uses is far less than the aerosol cans that we were using before. So not only are we cost saving on our employee time, but also with the paint.
The process when Sam would do this manually, he would come out probably about once a week for several hours. But now the process, how often do you actually have to come out to do the painting?
So it depends on weather. If it rains a lot, it may take, 7 days, but usually it's about 10 to 14 days. We can come back and repaint the line. So instead of doing it every 7 days, now we're looking at like 10 to 14 days. So we're cost savings, instead of painting every week, we're doing it almost like every 2 weeks.
And that's crazy too, because you're going from several hours down to 23 minutes and doing it less often. So a huge cost savings there for our employees, but also, for the town itself.
Definitely.
So I know we're out here in the fields, but the tiny robot can do other locations, right? It can do parking lots, you said, logos. So it's almost like a cross-department functionality in some sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't just stop at like the fields and parking lots. It could paint basketball court lines. It could paint words, so if you had a sponsor and you wanted to put them on the field, you could do that as well.
That's amazing. And like I said, we've been standing out here watching him, and he's just been doing this incredibly fast and very efficiently. So I just love that, Plymouth is looking for ways to be more proactive and use our human resources in more efficient ways.
Yeah, definitely. And it helps with the youth leagues too. It's a cost savings to them where we can take on painting their fields for them instead of hiring a third-party company to do it.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Ann, for joining us today for another episode of This Week in Plymouth on the Road. I'll see you next time.